the college football playoff. The first 12-team bracket has been determined, and we knew when it went from 1 to 2 and the third team was arguing. I don't know why. Every time I think of the 2-team playoff, I just think of an undefeated Auburn team out of the SEC get left out of the championship game. Then when it moved to 4, we knew we'd get it from 5, and now it's moved to get it 13, 14. And right now it came down to SMU and Alabama, and the committee decided to go with the Mustangs. SMU, after they lost at the buzzer to Clemson, who are the 12 seed, the final seed in, they lose to Clemson at the buzzer to lose the ACC championship game after a serious comeback to get that thing tied. The committee goes with them over Alabama. SMU 10-2, no wins against the top 25, but no horrible losses. Their losses are to BYU, who was 10-2 in the Big 12, and to Clemson in the ACC championship game. Alabama 9-3. They went 3-1 against top 25 teams, including a win over the number 2 overall seed Georgia. But they did have some bad losses, although I don't think the Vanderbilt loss is bad. I like on the road, I don't know if that's a bad loss, but they got bum rushed on the road 24-3 by Oklahoma late in the season, which is still hard to explain. But they get left out. Clint, I know you watch this stuff. I know you're big in college football. Did the committee get it right?
Absolutely, they got it right. You can try to sell that Vandy loss as not a bad loss if you want to, but that's out. We're talking Alabama and Vandy here. Yeah, they got it right. They got it right. Look, I mean, I think if we just talk about big picture, moving to 12-team playoff, there's no way in hell that you leave out a team that was undefeated Power 4 conference, and their only loss is to a 10-2 top 20 ranked BYU team. And they're playing in the ACC championship and lose that ball game the way they played to Clemson. There's no way you can set the precedent, or you should. I mean, there's the way they could have. There's no way that you should set the precedent at this point in time that no matter how bad a big brand is in football, they're always going to get in over the other. No matter how many teams get into the college football playoffs, whether it's 4 or 12, the big brand, no matter what they've done, no matter what their season looked like, they're going to get in. They're going to be given that level of forgiveness, if you will, to get in. I think they got it right, and they gave 75% of the college football world, all the universities that aren't a big brand, all the universities that aren't the mainstays in conference championships, all the group of 5 teams that are out there, if they're still called that. I think by doing this, the committee kept the dreams alive for 75% of college football.
They kept the dreams alive. Can I say this? I think they got it wrong, but I'm glad at the decision they came up with. Like, I'm glad. I'd rather see SMU than Alabama. But to me, if it's who do you think's the better team on the field? I think if it is who is deserving. Now, I think this goes with how you look at things. To me, like, you got a team that they went 3-1 against current top 25 teams, right, and challenged themselves. And they went on the road to Wisconsin. Now, Wisconsin is down, but they went on the road and played that team in the non-conference to go along with their schedule. And then you got another team in SMU that the 2 games they played against top 25 teams, they lost. And this isn't a great Clemson team. Their best win are against Duke and Louisville. And so, to me, I think it's more deserving who you beat. And so, to me, I think Alabama is actually more deserving and the better team, however you roll with it. But I am glad to see SMU in it. I never thought they would do it. I thought, all right, we got a chance to get Alabama and Penn State. Let's go ahead and do Alabama and Penn State. Let's get the name. We might have to deal with some of the small people here going at it and get mad for a day or 2 or maybe even a week. But really, the Alabama name, that's fine. And I'm surprised they did. I'm glad they did it. But honestly, I think Alabama, to me, honestly, is the better football team and probably deserves to be there.
Yeah, I think deserve is the operative word there. I think that's the one that we can play tug of war over.
Yeah,
Like at the end of the day, it's interesting with the committee is because we hear a lot about strength of schedule, right? And it's obviously a big player. But when we're talking about 12 teams getting in, right, there has to be as much more weight. When we're talking about 10, 11, 12, we're not talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, obviously. We're talking about 10, 11, 12. There has to be more weight put on the team. Hey, did you this is your schedule. You're in a power – you can't do anything. You're in a Power 4 conference. There's nothing else you can do, right? This is your schedule right here. Did you consistently show up and put your best ball on the field? And Alabama consistently showed up and failed to put their best – now, they still won a couple of those games, but failed to put their best ball out there. It cost them 3 games where I think SMU showed up and literally for an entire season shocked the ACC to a point where they were 8-0 in that conference. That's
Clint,
to me, I personally put more – I've always been that way. Like, I hated the fact that Ohio State got in over – I can't remember who it was, but it was a tight – they ended up winning the whole thing, so the argument fell flat on its face. But the fact that they got in after losing a game,
they got in over Baylor and TCU.
Yeah, they lost midseason to a 6-6 football team. That's now we're talking about 12 teams, and you're talking about Alabama that did it multiple times. Give me the consistent team more so than the team that we played a harder schedule. Well, we can't control what your schedule looks like before the season starts.
Oh God, I got words back to that. Luckily, we got to go.
I'm sure you tried to sell Vandy as a big win when you're talking about Alabama.
I didn't say a big win. I just said Vandy is not an awful loss. I think Vandy,
terrible loss for Alabama. Absolute terrible.
I think Vandy would have given SMU all they wanted.
Oh, he plays a good football team. Good football team. But we're talking about Alabama. We like Bama and Georgia and Texas. We can't go. That's not a bad win.
Piss off Tyler a little bit here. But Tyler and you both know what it's like to have to go and say, all right, this week I got to play A&M. Then next week I got to play Georgia. And then next week I got to play Florida. You lived it.
Sure.
To then know the SMU got to go and roll and play. I can't even name some of them low-end the ACs. I know they didn't have Miami on their schedule. I know they didn't have Clemson on their schedule. They didn't even have the top teams in the ACC on their schedule. Like, to get through and go, ooh, we got Pitt this week. Ooh, and then next week we get to follow it up with NC State or North Carolina. Like, it's a difference when Alabama has to get up for every last one of these games. I mean, there's a gauntlet of, hey, who you got? We got Tennessee, Georgia, Vandy, and LSU in a 4-week period. Like, I think there is something.
No, there's definitely a difference. I mean, you can make the same argument about Boise State. Make the same argument about Arizona State. I mean, there's 12 teams getting in. That argument is very valid for certain teams. You just, like, to me, Alabama's not even the team. Shouldn't even been the 4th SEC team considered. It should have been South Carolina.
Well, they beat them, though.
I don't get head-to-head. 2 good football teams go together, and you're going to hold that against somebody, but you're not going to hold it back
between the two of them. There's a difference between the two of them.
I disagree.
One beat them.
I disagree. One finished on a 6-game stretch where they beat several ranked teams. The other one messed the bed and lost by double digits to Oklahoma 2 weeks ago.
But they beat that team. That's why.
That ain't got nothing to do. I mean, we're talking 2 good football teams.
2 good football teams, and what's the difference?
One finished the season 6 straight and beat a bunch of ranked teams, and one got skull drugged by OU. That's
a route to go. Or you could say the other one beat Georgia and beat that other good team head to head.
It's soft.